afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I can see we've still got people coming in and joining us, which is great. This is an exciting time for us because we have two representatives from two of our partner universities joining us today to tell you a bit more about their universities, their degree programs, their campuses, answer any questions that you might have. So a really fantastic opportunity for students and for parents to get an insight into two very reputable institutions. Just a brief introduction into the uni people and who we are. I'm Shay Pio, and together with my co-founder Kim Rodriguez, who you can see, we started the recruitment company probably just on a year ago now. Sorry, the uni people. And we are aiming at partnering with really strong, good, reputable institutions across the globe, as well as offering very in-depth, insightful career counseling advice to students. We do offer a psychometric testing package if anyone's interested, in order to delve into both abilities and interests to identify what career path students are best suited to. And then, like I said, we partner with a number of fantastic universities across the world, and we are very excited today to have both Brunel and Cardiff Metropolitan University with us. So you can all see on your screen is Fern, who's from Cardiff Metropolitan, and then we've got Martin from Brunel University. So we would like to kick off with Martin telling us a bit more about Brunel, and he's going to present to us. Should you have any questions, please do drop them down in the chat section. This will be closely monitored, and we will try to get to everyone's questions at the end. There will be a questions and answers forum, and we'll try to address everyone's questions then. But kicking over to you, Martin.
Thank you, Shay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the session. So my name is Martin. I work as International Recruitment Officer at Brunel. I'm also from Zim, and I'm an ex-PDAS boy, so don't hold that against me. I will try sort of explain a bit about Brunel, the programs, the campus, and hopefully answer any questions you have afterwards as well. So what I'll do is I'll just share my screen with everyone, just because I have a presentation to share. Bear with me one moment. Okay, I hope everyone can see that. I hope everyone can hear me clearly as well. So Brunel, just a bit about Brunel. So Brunel's over 50 years old. We sort of started off as an engineering institution specializing in sort of engineering programs and courses. We're named after Isambard Brunel, who was a famous engineer in the UK as well. And here we just have a few sort of rankings about Brunel that are quite recent. So QS World University rankings, we're 42nd in the UK and 359th in the world. We've ranked 37th in the UK for academic rankings as well, according to Shanghai 2019. In terms of Times Higher Education, we're 42nd in the UK and 34th in the world for international outlook. And then in terms of impact rankings as well, we're ranked 40th worldwide and 9th in the UK in terms of global ranking to measure social and economic impact of universities. And then we just have a few rankings for subjects. So for example, for OT and physiotherapy, we're first in London. That was based on the complete university guides in 2019, so quite recent as well. First in creative writing and music, second in mechanical engineering, third in psychology and sports. So this just sort of give you an idea of where our subjects sort of stand in terms of UK rankings as well. Our Brunel Business School is very well accredited, so we've got the double accreditation at the moment, and we're going for the triple accreditation, which we'll hopefully have soon. Then just in terms of location, so Brunel is based in West London. We're in a town called Uxbridge, which is 15 minutes from Heathrow Airport, so that's quite handy being close to the airport. So it's just a 15 minutes to the airport. Then in terms of central London location, we're 45 minutes by the tube to central London, and about 30 minutes from Wembley Stadium as well, so that's quite close to us. So in a really good location in terms of price as well, and access to having sort of central London lifestyle and just affordable living lifestyle as well. And then in terms of the campus, we're a single site university campus, basically meaning that everything is based on campus. our accommodation, our teaching facilities, sports facilities, everything's on campus. And it's a really good community that we have at Brunel that's very welcoming and very easy for students to settle into. And as well, we have 14,000 students at Brunel, 3,000 being international students, with sports box facilities, fitness centers, medical centers, all on campus, which is really good. We have a 24/7-hour library as well, and lots of cafes and restaurants, which is always nice to have on campus, and 5 minutes walk from your accommodation if you're staying on campus. We have a student center as well. That's basically the hub for all the information that you need, whether it's about fees, accommodation, or any troubles that you're having while you're at university. In terms of accommodation, so the good thing for accommodation is that it's guaranteed for international students, with over 4,500 self-catering rooms on campus. So there's 3 different types of rooms. There's ensuite, standard, and studio flat rooms. Standard room being a room where you have your bed, desk, everything in your room, except you'll be sharing the bathroom facilities and kitchen facilities. Ensuite room, which is sort of the more popular option for most students. You have your room, bed, desk, and your own shower, so you don't have to share any bathroom facilities, but you will share the kitchen facilities, which is quite normal for any student studying in the UK. And then there's the studio flat options as well. So these are a bit more expensive and normally are for sort of mature couples or students that just basically want a bit more privacy or a bit more mature. So in those rooms, you have your bed, kitchen, everything all in one room. They're quite set up to a high standard as well. So accommodation is guaranteed as long as you apply and accept your offer for the accommodation by the 31st of August. And tenancy contracts include your vacations as well, so over the Christmas period and Easter break as well. At Brunel, we have really good world-class facilities. So like I mentioned before, we have a sports center. We also have our indoor athletic center, which is really well ranked and regarded in the UK as well. So we've had different sort of athletes come and train at Brunel. So for example, before we had Usain Bolt that came to train at Brunel before the Olympic Games. We have a wide range of parks as well that are on campus, so lots of eating spaces and outdoor spaces as well. Restaurants, library, as well as access to the students. And so we're a one London campus university. So we're top 10 in the London for student satisfaction, which is quite important because I think it's always important to get an idea of how the current students feel about studying at the university and to get their idea of how their experience has been. It's always, if you can, always best to try find recommendations from current students. And then in terms of subjects, so we have quite a wide range of subjects split between our 3 colleges. So we have the College of Business, Arts and Social Sciences, with programs such as economics and finance, film and television, journalism, they're all based within this college. It's our most popular college because it has the business school as well within the college. And then we have our College of Engineering, Design and Physical Sciences, where we have the engineering programs and design programs. Computer science programs as well, which are always quite popular with students. And then lastly, we have the College of Health and Life Sciences as well, where we have sort of more medical programs. So we have the biomedical sciences program, occupational therapy, and physiotherapy programs as well. And next year in September 2021, we'll be opening the Brunel Medical School. So that will also fit within the College of Health and Life Sciences as well. So at Brunel, there's also quite a wide range of ways to study. Obviously, in the current climate, I think most universities will be introducing online study as well as some sort of face-to-face teaching on campus, depending on how the situation is. But at Brunel, we have a wide range of studying. There's lots of practical work that you can get involved in, lots of theoretical work as well, and different ways for you to sort of get the best out of your subject and program. And at Brunel, we have the Brunel Pathway College. So initially this was known as the London Brunel International College, or LBIC. So this is our sort of a pathway provider for Brunel. So in case you don't meet the entry requirements for the direct entry into our programs, you can always apply to the Brunel Pathway College. They have a wide range of subjects from business to accounting to law to arts. at undergraduate level and also at master's level as well. So if you don't meet the direct entry requirements, you can always have a look at their programs, and you might be referred to them by the admissions team anyway, so you might not need to necessarily make an application. Then we have our Brunel Language Centre. So our Brunel Language Centre has quite a variety of courses and sort of specific subjects for students. So we have the pre-sessional English, which is for students that hold an academic offer but haven't met their English language requirement. Then we have the English language courses for students that just want to study general English. Then we have the in-sessional English workshops, which are normally free and sort of one-to-one consultations with students. We have the modern foreign language courses as well. These are really good. So we have about a wide range of foreign languages that students can learn for free. So they range from Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic, Mandarin. And it's also really good if you learn an additional language to your any other language that you currently speak. Then we have short courses as well, which are tailor-made for different groups that want to learn English together and improve their English language skills. And then at Brunel, you can get involved with the Students' Union or Team Brunel. So there's a wide range of societies and sports teams that you can join. We have rugby teams, football teams, basketball teams, and field hockey as well. So there's a wide range of societies and sports that you can join. And it's always a good way to introduce yourself to other new students that are joining and coming to Brunel for the first time. And it's a great way to settle them onto the campus as well, and to make use of the wide range of sporting facilities that we have. Then just in terms of career services, so at Brunel we have a job shop centre, career services team, and a placements team as well that are dedicated to helping students find either part-time jobs, graduate jobs after they finish their course, or just generally get any sort of advice on the career path. With the graduate school as well, and employers that sort of visit the campus for different networking events as well. These will come under our Professional Development Centre, which is an award-winning service as well, which I'll speak about in a bit. So the Professional Development Centre, so what they do is they can offer, well, for most of our undergraduate courses, there's a placement option available. So the placement year, which is basically, normally you have a 3-year program, and some might come with an additional year, making it a 4-year program. So within your placement year, you're able to work in a professional environment and gain some work experience, then continue the final year at the university on your course. A lot of students have access to first-class coaching and mentoring as well at the university. And we have links with over 1,500 companies across all sectors, which is really handy to have, especially if you're trying to get into a specific sector. With the professional mentoring program as well, which helps students to improve their employability and gain confidence. So this is a good way to speak to someone who's been through the process of studying at university, graduating, and then looking for a job after they've graduated. So it's always good to get some insight from someone who's been through the process and is now sort of gone through it and working now. Then as well, we support students that want to apply for the Graduate Entrepreneur Scheme, which is a Tier 1 visa, which allows students to extend their stay in the UK for up to 2 years, working on a business idea. So our Professional Development Centre work with students sort of to develop their idea and apply for the visa, which is quite a good service to have. So the Professional Development Centre was voted the 5th best career service in the country in 2019, which is quite recent as well, and credit to the service and that they provide as well. Then an important topic for most students, which is always scholarships. So at Brunel, we have a different range of scholarships. So our most popular one is the International Excellence Scholarship, which is worth £6,000. So that's applied to, if you're a 3-year program, it's applied to each year of your program. If you're in a 4-year program, it will be applied to the 3 years of that program, because normally the 4th year is normally the placement year, so you don't need to, your fees will be reduced that year anyway. And then we have specific college scholarships as well, which are worth £2,000. With the Dean's International Scholarship for Occupational Therapy and Physiotherapy as well, which is worth £2,000. And then we have a rugby scholarship as well, which is delivered through the Ealing Trailfinders team. So that's worth £6,000 for international applicants. And then we have the automatic fee waivers as well. So these are mostly referring to postgraduate applicants. So for example, if you study in the UK already and you met a certain grade, then you can apply for the postgraduate academic excellence scholarship, which is worth 15% discount. And then if you're a previous Brunel student, you can automatically get the Brunel graduate discount. And if you have any family members as well, you're entitled to a 10% discount. And then as well, on top, we have the early payment discount. So if you are able to pay your tuition fee sort of all up front, you are entitled to a 2% discount as well. And then just because the current climate that we're in as well, we have a frequently asked questions section on the website. Just to answer any questions you have around sort of regarding COVID-19, if you have any questions about applications, whether we're accepting applications or about CAS questions, these can all be answered on the website on the COVID portal. That's it from me. So thank you very mull for listening to me. I'll stop sharing my screen now. There we go.
Thanks so much, Martin. That was very insightful. I was there at Brunel visiting your university, I think this time last year. So I was recognizing lots of the pictures and your indoor sports facilities. A very, very impressive university. Any questions for Martin, please do drop them down in the chat and we will get to them at the end in a questions and answers session. But now over to Fern, who is with us from Cardiff Metropolitan University. Over to you, Fern.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen as well, so just bear with me while I get my presentation up. Okay. Are you able to see? I've lost my Zoom view. Just bear with me. Are you able to see my presentation?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Sorry. I'm not actually...
When you're under pressure, hey, Fern.
Yeah, I've not actually...
watching.
Oh, here we go. All right, okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, thanks, Fern.
Okay, there we go. All right, sorry, I've not actually used Zoom for sharing my screen before, so it's all new to me. So my name's Fern. I am the International Recruitment Officer at Cardiff Met, or Cardiff Metropolitan in full is what we're called, but everyone refers to us as Cardiff Met. It's just a bit easier to say. So I am the International Recruitment Officer for Zimbabwe. So I'm going to talk to you today about Cardiff Met. I'm guessing some of you might not have heard about the university before, so I'll give you a bit of a background about who we are, what we have to offer, and a bit about where we're located as well. So Cardiff Met is located in Cardiff, which is the capital city of Wales. We date back over 150 years. We opened as an art school in 1865, and from there the university or the school has grown into a university, and we became a university. We got university status in the 90s. We were formerly known as UWIC, University Wales Institute Cardiff, and then we became Cardiff Metropolitan University in 2011. We're a small to medium-sized university, slightly smaller than Brunel. We've got 11,000 students and about 10% of those are international, and they come from all over the world, from around 140 different countries studying at Cardiff Met. We have 2 teaching campuses and we have 5 academic schools split across those 2 teaching campuses, and we offer practice-focused and professionally orientated courses. So when considering where to study, why would you choose Cardiff Met? We have a silver rating in the latest Teaching Excellence Framework. We're a top 12 university for graduate startups. We have small class sizes. Our classes are quite interactive, and our lecturers really get to know our students. It's quite rare for our students to be in a large lecture theatre and just talked at for hours. It's a lot more personal. And our staff really get to know our students very well. We've got a strong international student support team. We've come top in the UK 6 times since 2010, and our support team is broken up into 3 teams, the welfare advisors, the academic advisors and the immigration advisors. So throughout your studies, or even before you reach Cardiff, you will be in contact with our student support team to help you with your arrival, your accommodation, day-to-day life in Cardiff, things like how to register with a doctor, how to catch a bus. If you've got any questions about studying or need help with any university work, we've got our academic advisors who offer free tutoring to our international students to help get you familiar with our academic system, from writing styles to referencing, presentation skills and things like that. We compete at a very high level in university sport, and we're quite well known for our sports. We have some great sporting facilities available, and our teams compete at a very high level in a range of sports, both in the university leagues and also professional leagues. So just to give you an example, our men and women's football team have both played in professional football leagues. So our women's team qualified for the Champions League, and our men's team qualified for the Europa League, I believe it is, and had a chance. Well, they could have been pulled against Manchester United, so it's quite a major deal for them. But yeah, I'm not a football person, so sorry. Yeah, we were also the top post-92 university in the last Research Excellence Framework. We're investing a lot in our research facilities, and we've got some world-leading research going on in the university in things like cardiovascular disease, genetics and aging. And also our location, I might be slightly biased because I live in Cardiff, but I think it's a fantastic place to be a student. I was also a student in Cardiff, and it's just an ideal location for students. And I'll talk a bit more about the environment and the setting of Cardiff in a bit, and also the affordability. So we are very competitive with our course fees, and the city, there's a low cost of living as well. So we're one of the more affordable choices for UK study. So just to go through our academic schools and what we have to offer. So we've got 5 academic schools. We've got our School of Art and Design. The building for this one, we recently opened a new building, well, it was back in 2014 now, so it's been a few years, but it's a purpose-built school for art and design. The facilities available are amazing. You've got wood workshop, metal workshops, ceramics, textiles. We've got an MIT accredited 3D printing lab. The facilities available are incredible, and we offer a range of courses within that school, from undergraduate all the way through to research. And then in our School of Management, again, we have some great facilities available to our students studying our business related subjects. So we have our Bloomberg Financial Suite, which is what some of the major finance firms use around the world, the software they use, which our students can get familiar with and put on their CV that they know how to use before they even graduate. We have a mock courtroom for our law students, and we also have a hospitality suite where our hospitality and event students can do practical work as well. In our Sports and Health Science School then, so this used to be 2 schools and it recently merged to become 1 because there's quite a lot of overlap there. So there's a lot of investment going into the facilities to build on what we have already. We have some great facilities available. We've got a food industry centre where we have companies, external companies coming in to use it because it's the higher standard. We have an indoor athletics track, and we have some great sporting facilities. Again, like Brunel, we've had some famous names come and train at the university leading up to the athletics championships. We've had a couple of different countries come and stay and train on our sporting facilities. Moving on to our School of Education and Social Policy, we have a mix of programs within this school. We have qualified teacher status programs from undergraduate level through to postgrad, and we have great connections with the local schools. Over 400 schools, I think it is, that we have connections with, that we put our students in for placements. We also have a printing press based on campus, an external printing press that our media and journalism and creative writing students can get to use and experience during their studies. And then moving on to our final school, our School of Technologies. This is our newest school. We used to have our computer science based subjects sat within our management school, but we recognise that it's a fast-paced moving industry that really needed its own school. So we've developed the new School of Technologies, which has officially opened, I think it was the year before last now, and we're developing a new building for it. So the first phase has just opened this year, and we'll be continuing to invest in that to make sure we have the most up-to-date technologies, and we're designing our portfolio of programs around what is in demand in the industry at the moment. So we're seeing a lot more things like virtual and augmented reality, robotics engineering, cybersecurity, and things like that. So those are all our 5 schools. Those are just a selection of some of the courses we have. Full course lists are available on our website, so do take a look. But all of our courses are designed to give our students the Cardiff Met Edge, which is ethical, digital, global and entrepreneurial skills to help develop your confidence and give you the experiences to prepare you for life after graduation. So we do this through a comprehensive package of industry placements and projects, international travel and study, and also professional accreditations across all of our programs within all of our schools. This is embedded throughout. It's a big emphasis the university has focused on, about giving you an experience not just about the academic side of things, but of the overall experience around your studies as well, to really give you the best tools and knowledge to go out and join the real world. So moving to a new country, a new city, is very daunting, and it's a big decision. You're going to be spending a few years of your life there, so it's really important that you make sure that not only the university is an ideal match for you, but also the location is an ideal match for you, because you want to enjoy your time there. So you need to make sure that both are compatible. So Cardiff is a capital city, like London and Edinburgh. It's the capital city of Wales in the UK. It's Europe's youngest capital city, but actually for a capital city, we're quite small. Our population's only around 350,000. And 20% of that is actually made up of students. So it's a very young city, it's very vibrant, it's very multicultural. We attract people, students and professionals and tourists from all around the world throughout the year. And it's got great transport links across the UK. We do have an international airport. There aren't direct flights to Zimbabwe, but we do have some of the big airlines like KLM and Qatar Airways flying into Cardiff. It's also a very affordable place. So even though you get that high quality of life being a capital city, the cost of living is low. So one of our major banks, NatWest, did a survey to come out with a national student living index to see how affordable cities were for students in the UK. And you can see on the left, Cardiff is the most affordable student city. And sorry, Brunel, London's all the way on the other side. So you can see on the other end, there is London and Edinburgh. Again, capital cities, Cardiff, capital city. You get that quality of life with a low cost of living. So it's a perfect place to be a student because your disposable income goes that much further. So just to give you a bit of a visual about what you can expect. So within an hour of Cardiff, you've got some of Europe's nicest beaches, you've got national parks. The city centre itself is a mixture of old and new. We've got an old indoor market. We've got these beautiful Victorian arcades on the bottom right with loads of boutique shops and cafes, quite unique. And then we also have a mix of modern new shopping centres with all the major shops and chains, and lots of restaurants and cafes throughout the city. The two campuses that we have, Llandaff and Kincoid, they are a short drive from the city centre. You can even walk it in sort of 20 to 30 minutes, depending how quickly you walk. So we're right on the doorstep of the heart of the city. And just to tell you about things that go on in Cardiff, so being a capital city, we do attract major events. So when London kicked off the Olympic Games in 2012, we had some of the football matches being held in Cardiff. We've had the Champions League football final in Cardiff. The Rugby World Cup matches have been played in Cardiff. And last year we had some Cricket World Cup matches in Cardiff too. There's also a lot of live music, comedians, theatre happening in Cardiff too. We've got plenty of venues in the city centre to house all of that. And on the bottom right there, that's the Millennium Centre, which is a theatre. So we have theatre shows from London's West End coming on tour and showcasing there. But that building is also where our students have their graduation ceremony. So it's a beautiful setting. You can't quite tell from the building, but it's this amazing copper curved building, and it just makes some beautiful picture opportunities when you graduate. So if you want to study with us, what do you need? So if you're looking to join us at undergraduate level, then we do ask for A-levels. Usually we ask for C grades or above in A-levels for most courses. If you don't quite have the grades to make it into year one, we do have some foundation courses within our schools as well, so we can look to put you into our foundation schools. For postgraduate, we ask for a 2-2 or above in a bachelor's degree, and for postgraduate research, we ask for a master's degree. And then for all courses, we ask for English, GCSE, O-level, grade C or above. And then in terms of how much it costs to study with us, so I have the fees for the September 2021 year. Undergraduate fee costs £12,500. But we do have an automatic scholarship of £2,000 available to any self-funded student from Zimbabwe. So that would be applied to 3 years each year of your studies, so that would reduce the fee to £10,500 per year. And then the fee for postgraduate taught and MBA as well are there, and the scholarship also applies to those. So it's a very affordable choice of university with our competitive fees and the low cost of living. And we do also have accommodation available to students. So we have campus accommodation. The cost of that is around £500 per month, but you get your own private bedroom, it's self-catered, you get your own private bathroom, all your bills are included, and you get 24-hour security, and there are facilities available like the gym. You get free gym membership at Cardiff Met for your first year, and we've got other facilities available at the accommodation. But being such a large student city, there is plenty of accommodation options off campus as well. A lot of our international students like to live off campus. We have a large number of private student accommodation providers. They have accommodation very similar to Cardiff Met, to our accommodation, but the price varies depending on the location of it and the quality of it. Some of them are super luxe. They've got cleaning and bike rental and all sorts in the price. So you can pick and choose and find something suitable to you. And then in terms of privately rented houses or apartments, lots of students choose this. It's the most affordable option. You share a house with other students, and the price can range from 180 to 500 plus per month. And that just depends on location, quality, how many people you're sharing with. But on average, you're looking around £200 to £250 per month is what our students typically pay. So I think that's everything I'm going to run through now. If you do have any questions, let me know. And we do have a great YouTube page and student blogs page as well that you can hear directly from our students about their experiences. We have a lot of day in the life of a business management student, and etc. etc. So you can sort of read firsthand what a student experience really is like. So thank you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. There we go. and not sure who's
Great.
going to.
Thank you so much, Fern.
No worries.
All right, so as we move into question and answer time, please feel free to use the chat section to post your questions in there, and we'll run through those, and then we'll just allow for a bit more time for any other questions as well. Okay, so for the first question, I think Fern was quite clear on her costs. Brunel, Martin, would you like to just share how much it costs per year? Sorry, Martin, can I just ask you to unmute yourself?
Sorry about that. So in terms of the program, for tuition sort of ranges from 13 to 15,000, depending on the program. So if they could have a look on the website, then there's probably more details, but yeah, it just depends on the program.
Okay, and what does it take for a student to get the International Excellence Scholarship?
That scholarship is based on academic grades and work experience, so they don't need to submit an essay or anything. It's just sort of based on that, and then sort of done in 2 phases. So there's an April deadline and a June deadline. And for September, there's usually 120 awards available to apply for. Mm-hmm. If they're applying for January entrance, then there's about 20 awards available to apply for.
Great, thank you for that, Martin. Cardiff Metropolitan, so Fern, a question for you. Does the 96% employed statistic for Cardiff Met include employment of international students?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
There's a lot of support around employability, and that's a large focus of all of a number of our courses for UK and international students. And we've got a lot of support available there to help students with their employability skills and after graduation.
That is excellent. Thanks, Fern. How long can one stay in the UK after completing their studies as an international student and in order to acquire a working visa?
So I'm happy to jump in there. The UKVI have recently brought back our post-study work visa. I think there's certain criteria for universities. I'm sure Brunel is also on the list. I know Cardiff Met would be as well. But our students, after graduating, they would be eligible to apply for the post-study work visa. So any student starting their studies from this any student graduating from the summer of 21 onwards would be eligible to apply for a 2-year visa to stay back and work in the UK after their studies.
Okay, thanks, Fern. Martin, is there anything else you want to add on to that?
No, that's what, yeah, so the 2-year visa is really good news for like all UK universities and anyone coming to study in the UK. I know when I was a student, because I studied at Brunel, so at the time the regulations were a bit different. So I think you got 3 months after you graduated to find a job, which basically wasn't enough time. And as well, because companies had certain restrictions, they need to have certain licenses as well to sponsor students. So the post-study work visa is really good news for anyone coming to the UK.
It is, that's great.
Yeah, I'll just add to that, beyond the 2 years, then if you are able to secure a job with a company that has a Tier 2 license, then you can stay indefinitely if you meet their job requirements. So, but that 2 year is guaranteed to everyone.
Thanks, Fern. Are international students allowed to work on campus, and what kinds of jobs can they do?
So for Brunel, we've got quite a few jobs on campus because we've got restaurants, a few restaurants, the gym centers, the sports centers, there's quite a few jobs on campus. So they can apply for the jobs on campus, which are posted by the job shop online. So if they sign up for notifications, they'll be sent emails sort of weekly on the jobs available to apply for. And as well, they can apply to be a student ambassador, so working at different events throughout the year. They can apply to be on our UniBuddy platform as well. So sort of an online chat platform where they can speak to prospective students, and they'll get paid for working on that platform as well. And generally being within London, there's always part-time jobs available to apply for as well.
Yeah, Fern?
Yeah, so Cardiff Met is very on campus. We do have cafes and restaurants as well, and the student union shop. so students can get jobs working there. You have student ambassador roles that students can apply for, and again, there is plenty of part-time work going outside of the university as well within the city, so a lot of our students choose to work part-time during their studies. Students on a Tier 4 visa will typically be entitled to work 20 hours part-time during term time, and then full-time in the holidays.
Okay, thanks. So a question for both universities. If a student chooses to be in residence, is there an option for them to be in a catered res where they don't have to prepare their own meals?
So for Brunel, unfortunately, we don't have any catered accommodation. But like I said, there's quite a few restaurants on campus. So if they don't particularly want to cook, they can always get sort of breakfast, lunch, and supper on campus. But obviously it's not included within their accommodation, so they'd have to pay for that separately.
For Cardiff, we do have catered options at our Kingsway Halls of Residence. The price is slightly more to include the cost of the food, but we do have that catered option available.
Sorry, your sound is coming out very vibrating. I don't know if is that coming out your side as well, Martin?
Yeah, it's just started now.
Yeah, both Kim and I are losing you on sound. Let's try.
Okay, can you hear me? Is that any better?
Still a bit echoing for me.
It sort of sounds like you're speaking through water. We're in different locations. Let me try again, Fern. Let's see.
No.
No. I'm not sure what's happened. I haven't touched anything.
Okay. Should we just carry on, Shay?
I'm just trying to...
Yeah, I reckon maybe it'll clear, Fern, because your first part was fine. It's only now that it's sort of a vibrating. No, these things happen.
Okay. Sorry, just scrolling through the questions. Fern, is there mechanical engineering at Cardiff Met?
Unfortunately, we don't have mechanical engineering. The only engineering courses we have are the computer-based software engineering, robotics engineering. We don't have mechanical, civil.
Okay, so no mechanical engineering. There is software engineering and robotic engineering. That's correct here. Besides the programs on campus, what extracurricular activities are available? Martin, do you want to start off?
Yeah, so for Brunel, there's a wide range of sports. So from football to rugby, athletics, there's quite a wide range. And we're quite a sporting university as well. So like Cardiff, I think we compete in different leagues as well. Our rugby team is quite popular and do compete in, I think, sort of a second tier professional league as well. But then you also have other sports like American football and soccer and other sports as well. And then we have different societies as well. So sort of Afro-Caribbean societies, we have Chinese societies as well. So there's quite a range of societies available on campus. And if they don't find the one that they're interested in, they can always start their own. So there's that option available. Great.
Fern, shall we see if it's going to work? No.
Same for now.
Okay. And are your extracurriculars fairly competitive? Do they compete, Fern?
Sports do, yeah. Sports can be. We have our competitive sports, but then we also have our more recreational teams as well. So students at all levels can get involved. And then there's additional clubs and societies that students can be involved in as well.
Okay. Would that be the same for clubs and societies such as Debate and Model UN, for example?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And Martin?
I think so as well. I think maybe sort of in terms of debates, not 100% sure, but I'm sure there are sort of competitions that go on that they can always join. And if they're not at a university, then they can always find some within the city as well. So within Uxbridge or within London, I'm sure. And the same for Cardiff, I'm sure as well.
All right, great. Application deadlines. Would you both be able to just share application deadlines?
So for Brunel, at the moment, we don't have sort of a strict deadline. We'd say obviously normally for applicants to apply before the end of July, so there's enough time for them to apply for their visas. But obviously with the current situation, we don't strictly have a strict deadline. And because we'll be teaching online as well, there is sort of more flexibility, and if students need more time to apply or more time to make a decision, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, same for Cardiff Met. Usually it's beginning of August that we accept applications onto each year. We are quite flexible with the deadlines, and students can apply directly. They don't have to go through UCAS, which means that it's a bit more flexible. But yeah, this year is slightly different, but we are still taking applications until I think beginning of mid-August.
Okay, thanks. Fern, the question here asks, you said that the technology school opened 2 years ago. How recognized and accredited are the degrees?
Accreditations there, so in the new courses they are applying for the accreditation, so they will be accredited after the first year that they've run. They will be accredited, but they can't be accredited until they've started. So some of the new ones are still gaining that accreditation.
Okay, all right, great, thanks. Okay, in the chat, I think we've gone through all of the questions. I wanted to ask Martin, would you be keen on sharing your journey from Zimbabwe to Brunel?
Yeah, of course. So I went to Peterhouse and finished school about 2010. So I then started at Brunel in 2011 in September. So at the time I didn't meet the requirements for direct entry, so I went through the Pathway College, so which is now known as Brunel Pathway College. At the time it was known as under a different name. But I went sort of through that route, and I really enjoyed my 3 years at Brunel. I sort of got involved in different sporting activities, but more social rather than competitive at the time. So there's a lot of sporting facilities just off campus as well that Brunel owns. So certainly you can play football, basketball, tennis, sort of quite a wide range of sports. But I studied marketing at Brunel as well. So I went with other students from Zimbabwe that I knew that had studied at Heritage and St. John's as well. We sort of went as a group together, which was quite nice. And we've met other students that were already at Brunel studying there as well. And I had a few friends that were sort of in their second year at Brunel. So I sort of spoke to them and got their recommendations to find out exactly what the university was like before I actually made an application. So if anyone has the opportunity to speak to a current student at Brunel, then it's always a good way to find out more about the university. But I graduated in 2014. And like I mentioned before, I stayed for sort of 3 months after graduating. I worked part-time while trying to find sort of a permanent job as well. So there are jobs available, especially being in London, being in a capital city as well as Cardiff. I'm sure it's the same. There's always more jobs available within the capital cities. So it's a really good place to study. And I really enjoyed my time there as well.
Great, thank you for that. Could you both maybe talk a little bit about the social life? So life outside of academics and extracurriculars, what would a general weekend be like for a student?
Any better?
No.
I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
As long as you can understand me. I think the social side of university is really down to how you, or what the experience that you make for yourself and how involved you get with extracurricular activities and socialising outside of your class. The university give you all the platform platform and the tools to get involved in plenty of extracurricular activity. They put on social events and opportunities to meet other students from other courses and to take students on trips around the UK. So the university provides you with all the tools that you need to really have the best time possible, but it's also what you put into it yourself.
Great, thanks for that, Fern. Martin?
Yes, so quite similar to Fern and at Cardiff as well. So in terms of social activity, I think it sort of depends on you and the type of person you are, I guess. If you're interested in music or art and that sort of thing, being in London is always a great place to discover lots of societies and places to go to as well. I guess at Brunel, in terms of my experience, what I would normally do on the weekend was try and watch as many sporting activities as I could. So because I'm a football fan, being close to Wembley was always a bonus for me. So for example, I could go watch football over the weekend. I could go to other clubs as well. So I could go watch an Arsenal game or a Chelsea game. So that sort of depends on the type of people or person that you are really. But I guess at university, you sort of discover what you are, I guess. Discover your own personalities and things that you like. So there's always a wide range of things you can get involved in.
Thank you. Shay, do you have any questions?
No, I think that's been very comprehensive, and I think you've both covered a lot and given us an insight into both universities, which has been great. I don't know if there are any other questions from any of the other participants.
We'll just give a few seconds. Yeah, I think that's it.
I would like to just introduce Agnes Masuku, who's online, who is our administrator for the uni people, who many of you have been in contact with, and has been, there she comes, who helps put us together these Zoom calls and answers all your questions and sends out links. So thank you to Iggy for all your help in making these a reality. No other questions?
No.
Thank you so much, Fern. Thank you, Martin, for joining us and for all your time.
Thank you for having us.
Great. And if any of you are interested in applying to Brunel or to Cardiff Met, then please do get in touch with us and we can help you with the application process for both these institutions. Thank you all for taking the time out to join us this afternoon. And thank you especially to our reps for their presentations as well.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.